Good afternoon. Move on to Houston. Okay, it's a good week. Our football team is looking forward to the contest. We understand this about Houston, number 18 in the country. Tremendously talented offense led by Gary Ward, who's done a tremendous job not only getting the ball in the end zone, but being able to bolster a strong run game and averaging close to 256 yards a game passing. So he is a dual threat quarterback in every sense of the word. I believe Coach Herman's done a tremendous job since coming to Houston of looking at exactly who they have and looking at their personnel and being able to make sure that he gets every ounce of talent out of that offense. And right now, Gary Ward's doing a great job defensively. I think they're a really good unit that's been stingy defensively. Offense has done a great job of putting pressure on teams, and the defense has done a great job taking the ball away. And I think when you have that combination of being able to score points and take the ball away defensively, your offensive philosophy and defensive philosophies, really mesh and give you a great team concept. So Houston's doing a great job right now of doing exactly that. Their special teams have been extremely good at what they do. They're covering well. They're putting points, on the board in special teams, and for us, it's definitely going to be a challenge as well. But like anything else, I always look forward to the challenge. My football team looks forward to the challenge. It's playing a ranked opponent at their place, so that's good. I think the pressure's on Houston. For us, man, we just got to continue to do what we do and gain a little bit of ground. And with that, I'll turn it over to questions.
The quarterback Ward he gets a lot of carries, but he leads the country in rushing touchdowns. Mm-hmm. They just use him more in the red zone, or do you have to be more aware of what he can do with the ball in the red zone?
You have to be aware of what he can do with the ball in the red zone, but it's like anything else. When you're looking at teams like this and they do have a dual threat quarterback, you're playing 11-man football in the red zone. So that's what it comes down to. You're not defending 10 guys, you're really defending 11 guys. So it's mano a mano. You got to make sure that you account for that. Your defensive structure has to look that way, and so you play that way.
Does it help that you've played 2 other non-conference games against high-scoring offenses and have been successful in keeping them down? I mean, the kids, does that help the kids' mindset coming into this one too?
It does. It helps the kids' mindset, but I think Gary Ward's a special player. Different than any of the quarterbacks that we played. He's been able to, manage his offense, take care of the football, score himself, and I think that's a big key, because when things break down, he can put it in, and that's what he's done. He's been able to drop back, extend plays, and then once those plays are almost dry, and he makes a play, whether it's with his feet or whether it's throwing the football and somebody in coverage not plastering. So there's definitely an extreme challenge, in this week to be able to contain him, slow him down. But we've talked about exactly what that is, and I compare him to Everett Golston. I saw Everett, when he was at Notre Dame, and had to defend him, and they're very similar guys, just in terms of in their abilities to be able to throw the football on a frozen rope and extend plays once things break down. So, having gone through that and looking at the structure of our defense, we have to be extremely conscious of setting edges, caging the rabbit, and making sure that we keep him inside the pocket.
Your third down defense is third in the country right now, 22%. You want 0% obviously, but what's kind of a good number? What's a good percentage for you of this is where we want to get to, or do you set that for your guys?
I don't. Really before, I think anytime you're right around 35%, you're pretty good. Anytime you're under 30, you're dang good. So, for us, I don't emphasize it. And I talk about trying to play first and second down so you get the opportunity to be good on third down. And I say the same thing in the red zone. We're just going to defend the blade of grass. So for me, those things are part of situational football where you have to show up. Those two categories have really taken us through the season as we've started to get a little better, a little more comfortable with our personnel and who we are. Third down defense and red zone have really been the things that we've been able to hang our hat on. And so if we can continue to do that, I think we'll be where we want to be defensively.
Derek, your quarterback situation this week, the starters in Orr, how do you evaluate who's the guy, and is there a situation where you go into games saying, well, if we're in this situation, we're going to put Johnny in there. If we're in this situation, it'll be Kyle. How do you decide on who's out there from series to series?
Compete. That's all I'm looking for. Manage the game and compete. So we'll continue to look at the best option, and the best option, who's at the best week of practice and manage the game, will be out there first.
And what did you like best about the combination, the quarterback combination against Missouri?
You know, I think both those guys, Jim, and to be honest, I think Johnny's helped, Kyle, and Kyle's helped Johnny. These two guys, have developed probably, an unlikely friendship because, it's very competitive at the quarterback position, but what these guys both know is that it's gone from being about, any individual to making sure that they can help the team win. And that's what we're at right now. I think these guys are doing a great job of managing, not only the game, but, helping each other become better quarterbacks.
You said the other night that it's difficult to defend a team if you're preparing for two quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that so difficult?
When you have quarterbacks that have two different, dimensions to what they do, and we're gonna look at, what are Johnny's strengths and what are Kyle's strengths, and we're gonna play to those. Well, really, is there enough time to game plan all that when you look at it defensively? I mean, it's really tough. Are you game planning spread, or are you game planning West Coast offense? You figure out exactly what that is, and you let me know. I've been doing this for quite a while, and anytime I've had to face a team that has multiple quarterbacks, it becomes extremely tough to get it all repped. You have to look at exactly what they do, get to the meat and potatoes, and figure out exactly who they are. And when I looked at that last week, I thought when we went hurry up at times, it looked good. At times when we were able to get into in a different mode of football with Shermer, and he got that thing rolling, it looked solid in the run game, and he was able to hit some passes. So which one are you defending? I don't know.
Caleb listed on the depth chart again this week, Caleb Azubike. What's the situation with him?
I'll know more tomorrow.
It's raining in the forecast for Houston on Saturday, Coach. What do you do to prepare for that, and does that help you or hurt you?
Tell you what I do. I go inside so I can have the type of practice I want to have, and all we do is dip and dunk wet balls and throw wet balls all around the field. So you get the best of both worlds. You get the opportunity to prepare and get the reps that you want, and you're working with wet balls the whole time. So that's probably the ultimate scenario for me.
No Nigel Bowden again this week. Can you give us an update there, please?
Hey, and I'm looking forward to Nigel Bowden getting back as soon as he's ready to get back. But as of right now, Nigel's out, and hopefully I'll have an update for you next week.
This is your defense has played really well, and you're going against one of the best offenses in the country. It's a challenge any week, but does that heighten your excitement or any kind of buzz around your defense when you're facing someone that's good on the other side of the ball?
Absolutely. We play the game, for the challenges. If it was a boring game, I'm sure these guys, man, would probably have a hard time listening to the things that I throw at them. But the challenges are there. We're talking about an offense that's ranked in the top 10, just in terms of who they are and what they're doing production wise, and that's always a challenge. Especially for us, our guys right now are up for challenges. We're still learning how to win. And with that, this group is starting to become, somewhat of a hardened group as to, understanding exactly what the expectation is. So they're looking forward to the challenge. I'm looking forward to the challenge. Tom Herman is one of the best offensive coordinators in the country, and it's going to be mano a mano. Our players are going to have to line up versus theirs, and we're going to have to, settle this thing between the white lines. So let's have some fun.
Is Herman calling their plays?
I don't know if he is or not, but I do know. He's got his imprint, on that offense. It's always going to, work that way. I believe offensive guys always have a hard time, turning away from what they do best. So, man,
Have you defended his offense before?
I have not defended his offense. So, and I've watched it a lot, and it's pretty good.
You said all the pressure's on Houston. Can you
Yeah.
kind of explain that?
Yeah, the pressure's on Houston. They're number 18. Man, we're Vanderbilt, and we're slowly but surely, trying to claw our way to relevancy. And so, with that, man, we're going to play loose. We're going to go out and have fun. The spotlight's going to be on them. It is an SEC opponent, so I'm sure for them, they think that's added value. But sometimes you got to be careful what you ask for.
Did you have any communication with the league office on the kickoff ruling or anything like that? Did you file anything? Did they say anything to you?
No, I think you look at it and, you know, say to yourself, hey, man, whatever they call is whatever they call. I'm just going to coach the game. Believe me, you know, I give an earful on game day. The rest of it, I just sort of let it roll off my back because you have to, because it's on to the next play.
But you didn't follow up in any way?
What's that?
You didn't follow up with the league in any way?
And I send in a couple of plays every week, and I let the league office review those plays. They generally give us a consensus, and you know what? I'm always pretty satisfied with what comes back.
They've got some big numbers, obviously, offensively. They don't deal with an SEC schedule.
Right.
How are these numbers inflated, or do you buy that the offense that they have on paper is that good?
I buy that they're that good. You know, I mean, you look at you know, teams like Houston and Memphis. They're good. They're good football teams, and no matter you know, in the competition that you play is what you put on tape. And what they're putting on tape right now is that, you know, I mean, they're the hottest new mixtape on the shelf. So the thing that we got to do is make sure, man, that we load up our iPods and we can try to, you know, get caught up to their version of what's happening on the football field, because it is pretty hot and moves pretty fast.
3 or 4 more questions, guys.
The last field goal vote, Shaw, did you guys move towards the white hash on purpose to try to get him a kick from there, or did you have a plan on that one?
Try to.
Yeah.
You know, we're always trying to work towards player strengths and in what we do. And you know, with that, I told Tommy today, you know, just to be honest, I'm looking at Tommy, and Tommy's more than capable of being, you know, one of the best in this conference. But you know, what it comes down to sometimes is that you got to have faith consistently. And you know, with that, anytime, man, you're working with a new holder, you know, sometimes, man, you're thinking through the process too much. Just do what you do. Control the controllables. You don't control how he controls it. You control how you kick. And you know, it was simple advice. I patted him on the back. He patted me on the head, and we went on our way. So I think Tommy's gonna be fine.
With the quarterback situation, you said whoever's, you know, got the hot hand is going to play. Is there, do you feel maybe more compelled to see more out of Kyle since that red shirt is now gone?
You know what? I want to see the best out of both these guys. That's what I want to see. I think Kyle's developing, and I think Johnny's, you know, is still, you know, an ultra talent. But it's only when, you know, talent is stressed, challenged, or mentored that talent can actually become something that's valuable to a football team. So, you know, in both these guys, they have to be challenged, they have to be stressed, and they have to be mentored. And, you know, and every bit of that, that's what we're working to do every day. And hopefully what we do Monday through Friday gives us a chance on Saturday.
You said you want an identity for this team coming into the preseason. Now when Vanderbilt's mentioned anywhere on TV or elsewhere, it's a really good defensive team. Mm-hmm. How do you think your guys like the fact that there is that identity, that tag on the program now? Yeah. I mean, it gets back to what we were talking about at the beginning of the season. Relentless, tough, intelligent. You know, I think we are relentless. We've showed that that's the type of football that we're going to play. I think we're a tough, you know, football team. We've had to battle through some adversity. The intelligent piece is where we have to show up, you know, and in all phases, offense, defense, and special teams. We had some unintelligent penalties, you know, on Saturday. And I think those are the things that are holding us back from being the team that we can be. So we have to eliminate the bad ball, continue to play, you know, good ball, and if we can do that, I think the fan base, Nashville and Vanderbilt University will like what they see.
2 more.
The play where Darion Herring blew up the quarterback and a blocker. How many times did you go back and watch that one?
About 15. I'm just gonna be totally honest with you. I mean, the play was, you know, a special play for me, because I look at those plays, man, and you're always looking for guys to give, you know, supreme effort. You're always looking for guys to strain to a finish. Hey, man, to be able to bone a receiver as he's coming across the middle, come off the bone and still have an opportunity, man, to scrape skin and get a guy to the ground, I think that's pretty good football, and that's what you're looking for. Those plays are the ones that you want to be able to show your team and say, did you do that? You know, did it look like that for you? Did you strain to finish? So that was a play that I watched about 15 times. Just being honest.
1 more.
You mentioned that they have a high ranking. Do you guys approach this game as you would a high-ranked SEC team? Same feeling? You talked about the pressures on them. Mm-hmm. Does it have that same feel of playing a really good SEC team on the road? It's got the same feel playing Ole Miss. It's got the same feel playing Georgia. It's got the same feel playing any of those teams. I think it's a big game. I think it's a big game. Big game for them, big game for us. You know,
each team's trying to go 1-0 each week. And if that's the goal, then this game better be big, you know? So for us, man, we gotta go into a hostile environment, pack our offense, defense, and special teams on the road. And it's always tough to go win in somebody else's house. So with that, that's the challenge for us this week. We're gonna get, you know, Houston's best, and we gotta make sure we bring ours.
Coach, appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.